So, happy Saturday morning all. Start doing a service on a Navara. Full service done on this today, so we'll quickly run through this. Put in, weather's changed again, it's a bit cold. Like a nice and blue up there, but it is a bit cold. So we've already got our under trays off. There's a series of 10mm bolts to get them pulled off. You can see the sun plug there, and the filter tucked up in there. So we've had the engine running, getting it nice and warm, allows the oil to flow around. Makes it easier to drop, makes it nice and runny, gets all the particles and everything out. So I'm going to turn the engine off now, I'm going to get the engine oil dropped. So it's an 8mm square drive for the sun plug. Just going to get that cracked off. Just going to let that very nicely. Worst thing about doing it when it's windy, oil tries to blow everywhere, so you're constantly moving your oil can to freaking catch it. Pain in the arse. Oil's draining underneath, you can change your air for 1 clip, 2 clips. That lifts it up out of the way. You can tell this regular customer of ours services it religiously. Look at the state of the air filter, it's not bad at all. But because we know him, normally we would say, look, air filter doesn't need changing, might save a little bit of money. We know him, we know he wants it done. So that's a new air filter. Obviously you can see the difference, that's only slightly discoloured. It's always worth changing it anyway, it keeps your engine nice and healthy. Exactly the same putting it in, sliding the clips down. While the oil stuff's trickling away, we get the screen wash filled up. Good dose of that and top it off with water, so because obviously that's concentrated screen wash. Normally I pre-mix it, today I completely forgot. So same again, while the oil's draining, you just want to do all your little checks around the engine bay. Also we're going to check the brake fluid, check its water content, make sure it's stuff safe to use, check the antifreeze level, make sure it is down to enough. I'm going to top it up a tiny little bit, it does need a tiny little dribble there. I'm going to top that up. We're just going to go around, make sure all the battery's secure, all the brake pipes aren't corroded or anything like that, and then we're going to move on down to our wheels. When we're at our wheels, we're looking around for any signs of damages, any play in any of these ball joints. Make sure the brake pipes aren't too bad, that's a little slight corrosion, bit of surface corrosion, we'll clean that up. So that's nice and clean, no springs or snaps or anything like that, brake disc and everything alright. Just go around, general check over, make sure it is all nice and roadworthy and in a happy usable condition. So we're up there on the oil filter housing. It is a 24 and we just use a little extension and that gets it to twist out. I can't really video it, I can't get a good angle to show you. What we've also done is we'll put the sub plug back in temporarily to stop that oil dripping, so we can bring our oil drain over here, let the oil drain out of here, then we'll go back, pull the sub plug again and let the rest drain out. You can see there, we've got it so cracked that it's starting to drain. Nissan were quite smart. They put it in a shit location. Then they put this little drip right here, so the oil just runs off there and runs down nicely instead of getting it all over your axle and everything, which was a nice touch. Thank you, Nissan. That's the oil filter out. That's a new one there. Cleaned all this off, get all the oil and everything out from inside, brake cleaner all off, brake cleaner all the threads, and we new O-ring and everything. I always grease these plastic ones because the last thing you want is them to get stuck in there because, well, they're a headache. So always grease them up. Some people just put oil on there. My preferred method is grease, and that's just what I use. So we're going to clean up underneath the car and get this popped back in. Just draining the oil into our barrels. Every time we use this, we let it drain or finish off the service. We blast it with TFR to break down the oil. Blast it with brake cleaner and it comes, it's immaculate every time we use it. It's just good to keep it clean. Obviously you don't want other part, if you're dropping oil and you want to see the condition of the oil or something, you don't want it contaminated with old oil. Two, I don't like to make a mess in the back of my van, I like to keep it clean, hence the mop. This is our oil now going in. We only ever use Morris, specific grade as well for this vehicle. That's all we ever use, Morris best. Once we've got our oil in, we always jump in, before we do anything else, jump in, start it up, and you're watching to make sure the oil light goes out. So down there, obviously once it's built up pressure, the oil light goes out, that's how you know it's good. And you've got the filter in properly, there's no blockage or anything like that. So just leave that to run for 5-10 seconds, let the oil circulate round, fill up the filter and everything, and we'll turn it off. We'll then check underneath, make sure there's no leaks. Once we know there's no leaks, obviously leave it to sit for a minute, double check the oil level, top up and adjust as necessary. So we're going to move on to fuel filter now. Fuel filter is a complete unit you get. Some Navaras, they do have a cartridge, where these are just screws. You take them out, you pull it out and change the cartridge inside. This isn't, this is a complete unit. So it is electrical plug off, pinch either side of them, pull it off, pinch either side of them, pull it off. I'm going to need 2 hands though. So get them, then 10mm there, electrical connector there, pull it out. Just pulled all that apart. It's just a case of give them a little bend out of the way, pull it out. Bottom view, I've got the electrical connector. It's for the water in the fuel sensor. You wind that out of the old one. It comes with a new O-ring on, a little bit of grease around the threads, just wind it in, nice and easy like that. Camera's a bit dirty there, look at it. Oh well. And it's a case of just push them in, get your electric connectors on, and then you find the one there into that. On with the pond filter, glove box, nice and easy. Just obviously open it, grab it there, just give it a little tug and it'll come off those 2 hinges at the bottom and just slide out. And there's a clip there, and a clip like that, and that just pops off out of the way. Hopefully I'll get my fat fingers in there. And you can tell we did this one last year because it's still nice and clean. Let's get a fresh one. Everybody likes fresh clean there in their car, doesn't it? There is our new one. Once done a fuel filter, sometimes it's necessary to prime. These ones you don't. It's just a case of turn the ignition on, leave it a couple of seconds. So it's got a built-in fuel pump, so the fuel pump's in the tank, and that'll prime it up. Obviously, get the fuel into the filter all primed up, and then we can start it up. Leave it running for a good 20-30 seconds or so, and just while you have a bit of a tidy up, make sure the fuel's going through the system, everything all right. Double check for leaks, and that bit's that bit done. Moving on to paperwork now. Got service reminder stickers. There's our old ones. Look how far we've come. We've got bougie ones now. Get that old one peeled off, because what's the point of sticking them over the top of each other? It looks shit. New one on. And that is a reminder for next year. We've looked after this for a little bit now. Obviously there's our 2 previous stamps, and you can see how religious he is again at service. So we're going to fill this in one now, and that's obviously for his records. And that's free for free. All done and dusted. Just walk back to my van now, because I went and obviously drove down the road, because I did it up here on the flat and he lives on a hill. Some safety and all. So yeah, that's that. So, nice little job for us, alright. Enjoy your weekend everyone.